we know where it all began. It was the best start of any professional soccer club in the history of the United States. We have continued to smash records in our transition to MLS. Our destiny is to defy expectations.
We had ruled an era in this league. And now we are back for more.
Our mission is to turn young talents into soccer stars.
And there's no better way to do it than winning championships. The future of Orlando City can be summed up in 3 letters: OCB.
Professional soccer blasts off tonight on the Space Coast. We're in Brevard County on the campus of Eastern Florida State College, the home to Orlando City B, which opens its first USL season tonight against the Wilmington Hammerheads. Good evening and welcome to Melbourne, everybody, alongside Tom Traxler and original Orlando Lions striker Eric Lieben. I'm Jeff Radcliffe. Thank you so very much for joining us for this first of 15 OCB telecasts on YouTube this season. Fellas, it is a historic night, and it's a Titan soccer complex that's going to be filled to the brim, certainly a big-time field, Tom.
You know, Jeff, there's some things that just feel right, and being back in USL with Orlando City B feels right. We're here against the Wilmington Hammerheads, a rival of old. This is going to be a great night.
Eric?
Yeah, tonight we begin our quest with Orlando City B to win the USL Championship. It all begins tonight. The guys look excited and ready to go.
Well, the Hammerheads have the distinction of being the only USL team with a non-losing record against Orlando City from 2011 to 2014, going 3-3-3 in that 4-year span. The Hammers now trying to return to prominence after a last-place finish a year ago. The Irish international Liam Miller is a player with some EPL experience. He will provide the steady leadership this season for the Hammerheads. On the other side for Orlando City, keep your eyes on Tony Rocha. He's in that attacking midfield, turned a lot of heads in the preseason, played with the MLS team in some friendlies during that preseason. He was with the Austin Aztecs a year ago. Here is what OCB is up against tonight, the starting 11 for the Wilmington Hammerheads in a 4-2-2 setup. Up top, number 44, player to watch would be Qudus Lawal, the Nigerian. And in the back, you may remember Tom Parrott, number 2. He has been with Wilmington for the last 6 seasons. Orlando City in a very familiar 4-2-3-1 for the Orlando City B. And in the back, you've got Craig Nitty and Kyle Callan McFadden. They're the central defense. 3 MLS players getting the start tonight: Haji Berry, Richie Lorea, and the goalkeeper Earl Edwards. Well, the Harbor City Hooligans will help create a raucous atmosphere all season long at the Titan Soccer Complex. Stay with us. Kickoff between OCB and the Hammers is next.
Cocoa Beach, the authentic beach town, where the sand is our building blocks and a board is our preferred mode of transportation. A place where memories are awakened by the sound of a wave. It's the home of the original, home to the iconic, and home of the legendary. Cocoa Beach. It's still cool. Your beach vacation begins at gococobeach.com.
Be a part of a new movement in Orlando. A roster to be proud of. One of the best soccer players of our era. Don't miss Alex Morgan and the Orlando Pride as they take the field at the Orlando Citrus Bowl for the first time on April 23rd versus Carly Lloyd and the Houston Dash. Season tickets and single game tickets for the inaugural NWSL season are available at orlando-pride.com.
A nation of thousands. A nation founded on the belief that expectations are not to be met, but defied. A nation of winners. This is Lion Nation. Indulge in exclusive content, behind-the-scenes interviews, and monthly documentaries. In Lion Nation, you get access to things money can't buy, including once-in-a-lifetime on-field experiences. Help make crucial club decisions by casting your vote. Spend reward points on experiences, auctions, and more. And all profits from Lion Nation will be invested back into the product on the pitch. Don't miss your chance to be part of something bigger. Join Lion Nation. Coming soon.
Back at Eastern Florida State College, moments away from kickoff as Orlando City B and the Wilmington Hammerheads set to begin the 2016 USL season. Both of these sides coached by former players of their respective organizations, making their head coaching debuts tonight. Mark Briggs, 34 years old. You see him on the right, a veteran of 20 senior level clubs as a player, mostly in England. On the left, a guy he used to play against in those lower divisions, Anthony Pulis, now 31, the Welshman with some coaching genes in his blood, no doubt, making his managerial career debut. Our referee tonight will be Caleb Mendez. He will be assisted by Kyle Longville, Matthew Schwartz, and the fourth official along the far touchline will be Chris Bolak. Tom, Eric, what's it like here for these two coaches making their debuts tonight? Tom, I'll start with you.
Well, you know, I had a chance to talk with Anthony Pulis, and I said, I hope you get a chance to just sit back, take a deep breath, and take it all in, because you only get one chance to do it for the first time. So I'm sure that they're both nervous. I'm sure they've spent their whole week going over every possible little detail to make sure that their teams are ready to perform tonight, Eric.
Yeah, I think in the beginning there's always that early bit of nerves with players in the first game. Both teams really want to get off to a good start. Obviously, Wilmington had a tough season last year where they didn't have the results they'd like, and Orlando City OCB really wants to make their mark here. It's about winning championships here with OCB. This is not just a feeder team for the MLS side. This team wants to win this USL title.
Well, tonight it will be Orlando City in the purple, attacking right to left. The visitors, Wilmington, in the very familiar vertical stripes, the sky blue and white, as the men from Legion Stadium invade Eastern Florida State College for the first time. You see Liam Miller there wearing number 6. He will kick things off. Hammerheads and Orlando City B making their season debuts tonight. The season got off to a big start in USL last night. Two games and a whole slate of games today and tonight. So the USL season set to get underway here in Melbourne for the first time, and we are there, underway between Wilmington and OCB. It will be Wilmington going from left to right along that left side, and watch the speedy pace of play. It's kind of like two really brand new teams going against one another, and that the changes that Wilmington made in the offseason, just a couple of holdovers from the team that finished in last place last year.
Yes, early on here, look, just trying to get a hold on the ball, slow things down a little bit, get a hold. Here we have some attacking play.
Yeah, Larea tries to push the ball forward for Orlando City. It'll be returned to the middle. Liam Miller will make the distribution out left. Miller, former member of Manchester United, as I mentioned, 20 different clubs he's played with in his career.
He'll be an important player tonight, Jeff. You know, anytime you make big changes, as Wilmington's made big changes, you're going to look to players with a lot of experience to help settle things down, to keep the hairy, scary moments kind of not as scary, right, Eric?
Definitely, yeah. He'll calm down the younger players, help them get. There's a
shot from distance, and
shot.
Certainly challenged John Smith's. He'll urge numbers forward here. So Orlando City with good attacking play in the early going. Smiths, native of Mississauga, Ontario, Canada, the former NASL goalkeeper of the year 2 years ago. And they're certainly happy to have him in Wilmington. Lewis Neal will make the play back. A foul will give Orlando City possession on their own half.
It's important to see Tony Wilker getting a foot on the ball there and trying to settle things down. Coach Poulos was really high on him this week in terms of what he's doing with the team, and it's really important for him to settle early.
Drilled forward. They're looking up that right flank where Rocha is hanging out. And now is Wilmington getting the throw on the far side. Just underway here in Melbourne, Florida. Debut of Orlando City B, as you see Kyle Callan McFadden, the 20-year-old Irishman. That center back pairing along with Craig Nitty in the back for OCB. 6'5" Craig Nitty.
Listen to the Harbor City Hooligans over there, Jeff. This is bringing a big smile to my face, being back in USL, watching these guys go at it, because these guys are they're young players. This is their platform. Both teams, both Orlando City B and Wilmington, this is their platform. These are players trying to get somewhere, and it's exciting to watch young players trying to achieve. It has a whole different feel to it. I love the grassroots feel to this, and what a fantastic league USL has continued to become.
Yeah, that was one of the things a lot of people were excited about, talking to people before the game, was a return back to this level and this grassroots environment, and looking to the future.
Neal makes the spin, and we'll switch it left side here to Mikey Ambrose, who, like Rocha, played with the Austin Aztecs last year. Nitty now, wearing number 53. And McFadden will just ping it forward into the center circle. And now the ball forward, and the race is on. Smits gets there first and parries it out. Off of Wilmington, throw to Orlando City.
Yeah, you saw Rocha try to play a neat ball through there. Just couldn't quite get on the end of it.
Kyle Callan McFadden, another Canadian in that lineup, along with Richie Larea. So a couple Canadians on each side here. Here's McFadden. And Ambrose along the left. How do you see Wilmington shaping up here? There was a lot of question marks as far as the health coming in, and what kind of shape and form they would take.
Yeah, they look okay so far. Right now, Orlando seems to be, OCB seems to be getting a foot on the ball and kind of controlling the game at the moment.
Held up by Lawal at the top. He and Nitty come together, and picked up by Callan McFadden. Switch is made by Lewis Neal, an Orlando City original, and that one's into touch, throw to Orlando City.
Yeah, De Silva just missed that little ball. Talking to Coach Poulos this week, he's been in really good form, and they expect a lot from him. Oh, that's a bad giveaway.
Wilmington on the attack. Will cut inside, and laid off right at the top of the 18, back to the left. Sosa, ball in, and it's right to Earl Edwards.
Good to see Edwards get a good first hold on the ball and good distribution. That's important for him. You always want your goalkeeper to feel good about his first touch.
Saw Larea running on late. And our 6-minute no score. USL opener for both teams. Jeff Radcliffe, Tom Traxler, and Eric Lieben, the newest member of our broadcast team. Former Orlando Lions striker, a veteran of teams across Europe as well. Certainly glad to have you along, and certainly we'll see this game through a different prism. And this will go all the way to Edwards. Again, gets the start tonight. A number of other MLS players loaned down here, some for the season, some just for this game, some on the bench tonight. Tyler Turner, one of those. I'm going to say De Silva, who really sparked nicely in that preseason for OCB. Wilmington, team that won just 3 games, trying to get off on the front foot here. Neal will play it back to Nitty. Attacking half, Lions using the width, and Barry can't catch up. It will be a corner kick for Orlando City, first of the night for either team. Set piece opportunity in minute number 7.
So far, it looks like most of the balls kind of going over the top. As I see Curtis Lawal from Wilmington Hammerheads and Jeff Michaud dropping in, making it a little bit more difficult for Lewis Neal and for Andrew Ribeiro to get on the ball. And then it's kind of isolating. It's isolating Richie Larea just a little bit.
Neal will take this kick, or will place it ever so gently, and he will approach with his left foot. All whipped in and headed straight into the air right along the byline. Battle ensues, and will run to the near side. And getting turned around was Kylan McFadden. He and Logan Miller doing battle.
You often wonder, will Kylan McFadden turn into the next Rob Valentino, Jeff? They have similar traits. Both strong, both good in the tackle, both read the game very well.
Nike is a proud sponsor of the USL. Follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike Soccer information. So leads to another set piece opportunity for Orlando City as we see Lewis Neal and his central midfield mate Andrew Ribeiro.
Like a corner here, Eric?
Mm-hmm.
Ribeiro
yeah,
will
lots of
take
players in the box. Looking for the big guy on the back. Just missed that one.
Smits will take it for a goal kick in our 9th minute. Smits, FC Edmonton the last couple of seasons. Big frame. And Coach Briggs called him a shot stopper with a big presence, and you can see why. Saw a bolt of lightning off in the distance. That never bodes well.
Shh. We don't need that, Jeff.
Is there any wood for us to knock on, or are we all metal here
we don't
at the
need
Titan
that.
Soccer Complex?
That is like some USL games of old for us.
Oh my gosh, yes. I remember a game against Rochester that went for eons. De Silva along the left side will be an Orlando City throw. Here comes Ambrose on the attacking half. We'll play it back to Lewis Neal. Neal, who owned USL in his one season in the league in 2011. Back pass somewhat dangerous as Lawal was running on.
I'm sure all the fans back in Wilmington, the Port City firm, do not want a delay. So we're gonna say, touch wood, everybody, and let's get this one in.
They've certainly made Legion Stadium a place to be feared over the years, the Port City firm.
We were all talking before the game. This is the rubber match, huh, Eric? I mean, 3 wins, 3 losses, 3 draws apiece.
Yeah. Between the clubs, this is a tiebreaker. And you can see they're really battling for it out there. They want it.
And there were lots of battles. Those 3 wins, Tom and I, I'm sure we remember the 2012 season, Corey Herzog with a couple of crushers in the regular season and then again in the playoffs to eliminate Orlando City.
I remember Coach Mark Briggs scoring in the regular season as well against Orlando City.
Remember him as a player. It will be kicked away here by Edwards. Again, Edwards, one of 3 MLS roster players getting time in the starting 11 tonight as they try to play it ahead to Barry, who's gotten some action in 2 of the 3 MLS games Orlando City has played in this year. So now getting involved in the OCB opener as a starter. Playing along the left side, Lawal, and the speedy forward, not that speedy. It goes out for an Orlando City throw on the backside. This is Neal, more of an attacking midfielder in his first go-around with Orlando City in the USL. Now in that defensive mid spot. Along the left it goes to Barry. And Ambrose will throw. Ambrose is 22 years old, native of El Paso, throws it. Larea will make the turn. And now Nitty and Lawal. Lawal is giving up nearly a foot, it seems.
Most players are going to need a ladder to win a header against Craig Nitty. Big Craig Nitty. 6'5".
Lawal 5'10".
OCB is doing a really good job of closing Wilmington down as soon as they cross midfield. They hardly get past the center circle on the OCB side, and they get shut down. OC is slowly controlling this game.
There's Lawal. His second season came mid-season last year. Now here comes a cross into the box that actually will go out for a corner kick. So it's in behind, and first set piece opportunity for Wilmington. Setting it down will be Josue Prieto, a Spaniard. Here's the offering, an in-swinging kick to the back post, headed away. Lions will try
That's
to
important clearance.
Try to break out of their own end, force them back. Here's Tom Parrott. Steady Eddie, you can call him, the native of Iowa City, Iowa, but Scottish-born.
That was Wilmington's first real pressure on the OCB goal.
Faircloth, who all springs was with the Seattle Sounders. Lawal at the corner of the 18, cuts it to the other foot. He's in the box. He'll take a shot. It bounces, and then it is kicked out momentarily. Second ball, not as dangerous. And Orlando City will scramble to get out of trouble here. Nice move here by Ambrose to get out of trouble.
Very nice.
Mike Ambrose had some work to do with that ball, didn't he, Eric?
That was a lot more dangerous than it looked.
See the danger that Lawal poses.
Anytime you're that far in your own box, close to your goal.
Way back out to Smits, and he's got his own version of Craig Nitti back there. Bruno Perron, 6'4", native of Sao Paulo, Brazil. He and Prieto both coming over from India in the offseason with the Kerala Blasters. You can find players anywhere, any corner of the earth now. And it will be out for a throw.
Coming over from India, they left some good cuisine behind, I'll tell you that.
We're in our 15th minute, no score. Wilmington and OCB. Nitti all the way forward. And it comes out to Ambrose. And gets the edge. And ball sent to the outside. And it will be behind for a goal kick.
Just lacking on that final delivery there, but that was a good move down this side.
De Silva with the quicks.
Well, you can really see in that glimpse right there why a lot of people are talking about Pierre De Silva.
De Silva, the academy product.
And I think we're getting a lightning stoppage, Jeff.
It certainly appears to be the case, as our referees will confer. And safety will prevail here as we'll get the players off the field. So lightning in the vicinity, and just a quarter hour into the USL season, we've got our first delay.
Well, you don't mess with Mother Nature, Jeff. If Mother Nature says you stop, you stop.
You span the skyline here, and we expect a lot of this in the summertime here in these parts, but in the spring, not so much. So everybody will take cover, and we will try to be back with you as soon as humanly possible. And nobody's more disappointed than those guys right there, as the hooligans will have to leave the premises.
I think to let people know, I think possibly we're going to find out it could be up to a half-hour delay at least, Jeff, per strike. They have to wait for it to be clear for a half hour. No strikes in that half hour before they can resume. So for those watching at home.
Well, that gives us some time to look at some of the highlights from the first 15 minutes in this one, as Orlando City, I think, gentlemen, you'd have to agree, have had the better part of the run of play.
Yes.
De Silva, there was that shot that
was a nice ball back from De Silva. Keeper made a nice play. This was a dangerous ball. when they got behind us.
You know, the wall, and it did
That
take a
shot was
deflection.
blocked, and he went in high with a high boot.
Luckily not to be called for that either.
You know, that shot, those shots, they just watered the pitch just before the start of the game, so those shots come in, they're skipping quite hard. The keeper had some work to do on that. So I think each team can stake a claim to getting dangerous in each other's box. 15 minutes in, I think they each split one corner apiece. So in a game where you got 3 wins, 3 losses, and 3 draws apiece, one corner apiece, one decent chance apiece, it's still all tied, Eric.
Yeah, I think OCB controlled the ball a little bit more, had a little bit better of the play, but in a situation like this, when you're broken up by time and lightning, there becomes a mental aspect to it, in terms of who has the mental fortitude.
Let's talk about this too, with each team having to now take a half hour off and sit in a locker room, Eric.
Right. Yeah, this is something that it takes a lot of mental strength, because you have to come back out, you warm up again, you're loose, and now we have the lightning strike. So we have 20 minutes to wait, 30 minutes here, and the guys get back on the field and warm up again.
Well, we'll be back to talk about the first 15 minutes. We'll take a delay and a break right now with everybody else. We're in a rain delay in Melbourne. We'll be back as quickly as humanly possible. We welcome you back to Melbourne as OCB and Wilmington in this USL season opener back on the field after about a 35-minute rain delay. Jeff Radcliffe, Tom Traxler, Eric Lieben, and the positive thing, Tom, when we do have a rain delay, that we have time to stop down, think about things, and then find a guest like the president of Orlando City Soccer Club, Phil Rollins, who joins us now. And this is an interesting moment, a very, very proud moment for you. It's kind of a back to the future moment, really, back in the USL.
Yeah, it's great to be back, and it just doesn't feel like we've left. It's great to be here again and see the players, and have the opportunity to bring soccer here to Brevard. And it's going to be an exciting season, I think, for the B team. I think Anthony's a great coach, and we've got some really exciting young talent out there. So I'm excited to see the season unfold.
Mr. Rollins, it was a really interesting choice when we heard that OCB was going to play here in Brevard County in Melbourne. Can you talk about that decision for the club to locate here for OCB?
Sure, Tom. I mean, obviously this year we've got three teams. We've got the MLS team, the Pride, and of course OCB. And it was an opportunity to spread our footprint really within the Central Florida region. We've got a great backing from Brevard County. We have a huge following from Space Coast. We've always had a lot of season ticket holders and fans that make the trek over to Orlando. So with the facilities here and the fact that Brevard County welcomed us with such open arms, and at Eastern Florida State College, put a great package together for us and a great field to play on. Everything was right to bring the team here. As we said, expands our footprint, just an hour away from downtown Orlando, and a great location, I think, for the B team to be playing in.
And here we are, first game back in USL, and back to the good old rivalry with the Wilmington Hammerheads. I mean, it feels like not much has changed, as you've said.
Yeah, it is. It does feel like not much has changed. It just feels like we've extended our USL season into another year, but obviously we had that year's break. But it's great to be back, and this is the right level of soccer for us to be playing in. It's a great developmental league. Now we've got 29 teams now across the country and in all sorts of great marketplaces. So a very competitive league, a very competitive set of teams, and this is what the boys need. They need competitive minutes when it matters and it counts, and there's 3 points on the line.
One thing that didn't exist when you entered this league here in Orlando anyways in 2011 is that relationship with Major League Soccer, and this is ultimately what brings it all back full circle, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and the relationship with MLS has obviously worked very well for USL, and it's done a great job, and the two have grown together. So we've seen tremendous strides by the USL in the last couple of years, and as we said, up to 30 teams now in the league. So, and I only see that growing, Jeff, to be honest. Yeah. I think that's going to get more next year, and quality. The quality, the standard of the games, the standard of the teams, the standard of facilities is getting better all the time, and it's great to see our boys playing in this league.
What a fantastic platform for the young players to launch from to become possibly the future stars of Orlando City. This is really a great starting point, as you said, in a great league that lets them know what it's like to truly be a pro.
Yeah, absolutely, and they're going to get to play some very, very competitive games. They're going to travel all around the country, just as we did when we were in USL, and that's where they're learning to be pros. And it's really for two sets of players. It's the players that don't get meaningful game time, Tom, in MLS. Obviously, this is a great platform for them. But it's kids like Pierre da Silva, who's played in our academy system and come up through the academy and is now out here, 17 years of age. It's great for him to be playing in these sorts of games and taking his game to the next level.
Phil, as always, great to talk to you here, and I know you've got a president's box, I think, somewhere on the facility here, right?
I've got seats right outside you, right here.
Getting a little wet behind the ear. We're about to wrap up. Phil Rollins, the president of Orlando City Soccer Club. Thanks again for joining us. Enjoy the rest of the game. Hope we have no more delays, but you're welcome back up here on the next one.
My pleasure, guys. Thanks
for everything. Come sit next to us and call the game with us.
Yeah, we'd love it.
I'll let you guys do that. I'll just shout at the ref and things.
That would be perfect. Thanks, Phil.
Thanks.
That said, we are moments away from kickoff. Each team on the field getting their final warm-ups in. And certainly a difficult situation when you've got a weather delay. Obviously, in the sport of soccer, you play through all weather conditions except lightning, as we welcome Eric Lieben back in as well. Tom and you both have been through this as coach, as a player. What's the feeling in the dressing room when you're having to sit through this delay, and how does that change things as your approach an approach as an athlete for one, but just also the mental approach as well?
Yeah, it's hard. You never know how long you're going to be out. You never know how long the lightning's going to last. Obviously, have to get back and warmed up, and you don't have as much time as you'd like, so it's a difficult situation for everybody. But overall, the mental aspect is the thing that's the toughest.
And how does this affect play now? We've had some rain on a pitch that has got a history of soaking up a lot of rain and not affecting anything. It obviously changes the game a little bit, does it not, Tom?
Well, yes. I mean, each team had to come out. They got a few minutes to re-warm up, if you will, and kind of adjust to the surface because it's going to be slicker. That's for sure, Jeff. So watch for anything for the goalkeeper that's coming into the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper's going to have to be focused. As well as your passing. Longer passing will tend to skip away, of course. It makes the ball move quicker. So you're going to have to be careful. Your passing, goalkeeper's got to be much more focused. Your touch, ball's coming off the surface at you much, much quicker, Eric. So, yeah, players got to be a lot more focused.
The clock has resumed turning now at 15:11. And we are back underway after about a 40-minute rain delay with Wilmington attacking left to right in the blue and white. And we'll ping it along the right side. It did give us a chance, this weather delay, kind of look at tactically what Wilmington was trying to do. And you think they have a chance at success here if they continue doing what they're doing?
They're playing really well, and the big guy in the back is winning most of the balls from Barry. And OCB really needs to play the ball to his feet.
Fairclough right to Parrott, and Orlando City doing a nice job keeping it on the opponent's half. We'll send it to Perrone, the Brazilian, and Wilmington will try the left side here along the far.
Eric, it looks like, and we had talked about this during the break, how Orlando City needed to compress their shape just a little bit, and it looks like initially as they've come out, they've done that.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It looked like everyone needed to move up about 10 yards. There was too much space there.
It'll be a throw for Zach Ellis-Hayden. Orlando will have possession along the far side. It skips into touch, throw in the other way for Wilmington. Again, season opener for both teams, and a debut for OCB as the ball skirts all the way back to Earl Edwards.
Speaking of season openers and debuts, Jeff, I mean, hard to believe we still have one more of those to go in the NWSL. The Orlando Pride and Houston Dash will be kicking it off on April 23rd in the Citrus Bowl. So as we're kicking off here in USL, we're going to be kicking off for professional women in Orlando as well.
Should have asked Phil, are we going to add another 2 teams here in the offseason? Like, what other levels can we catch up? Can we take the other levels of USL as well? As Orlando City really capitalizing on things in Orlando, the culture that has been created, the purple wave that has taken over the last 5 years.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people really excited about the Pride. There's a great history of women's soccer here in Central Florida, and it's going to continue with that. And you look at some of their signings and the players they have, and the players are able to develop from here in Central Florida, and I think the Pride have a tremendous future here in Orlando.
Yeah, going back to the days of Michelle Akers and the 99ers who trained here before the World Cup. The Orlando Pride will take the field at the Florida Citrus Bowl for the first time on April 23rd against Carly Lloyd and the Houston Dash. Season tickets and single game tickets for the inaugural NWSL season are available at orlando-pride.com.
The referee played the advantage there and let Wilmington have the chance to build that play there, but he was on that call the entire time. This will be a good test for Orlando to see their defensive shape here and how they set up. Looks like they're holding right at the top of the box.
This is a dangerous area, Eric.
Very dangerous.
You're definitely going to. This could be a shot and from a really good area because both posts are really in play here.
Earl Edwards sets things up in front. Everybody right along the 18. See how it is drawn up and is sent and intercepted along the right side. It's held up by Lorea. So not the best of efforts and did not yield the anticipated result. Here's Neal making the turn. Inside.
That's good distribution. They need to get the ball wider. There's a lot of space out here on these flanks. And here's De Silva.
De Silva on the run will send it forward. This is Barry outside the 18, a little step over to the right, and defensive help got there in nick of time, and just to the corner flag it goes. And it will be a corner kick for Orlando City, according to our referee, Caleb Mendez. So dancing on the ball somewhat one Haji Berry, the 13th overall pick in the MLS draft.
Yeah, Eric pointed out a really good thing that where Wilmington, they pinch in, they get very tight in the midfield. They're going to have Orlando City's OCB is going to have a lot of space in those wide midfield areas to exploit. So I'll be curious to see if that's what we see a little more of in this half, Eric.
Yeah, they're packing it in the center of the park. Obviously, that's their plan, is to try to stop.
This is Ribeiro to the far post in swingers. Stumbled a bit there, did Smits. He gets his mitts on it. And we'll urge numbers forward here in our 20th minute.
Did you say Smits gets his mitts? Very nice, Jeff.
Not intended. Thank you, John, for having a rhyming name. There's Ashani Faircloth. Good luck rhyming his name. I'll let you guys mull that one.
I'll let you be the rhyme master, Jeff.
So glad you're with us here on this inaugural OCB broadcast. We've already talked about it. It's a brand new season, brand new team for Orlando City, but also for Wilmington, as they really turned things over in the offseason after a 3-win season a year ago. Parrott, who is one of those returners, has the ball now. In fact, just 3 players returning. Will Haney, another one of those. Lawal spent part of the season last year.
That was good distribution wide by Miller.
Falls into the box to Lawal right at the 6, and Lewis Neal there to clean it up. And it's off of Wilmington for an Orlando City throw. So Zach Ellis-Hayden has gotten a lot of props from Anthony Pulis in the preseason, holding down that right back spot well.
And he's having to beat out some serious competition as well. I mean, you talk about a player like Tyler Turner, who is sitting in there. So he's doing a good job to beat out a player of that quality.
As we look back at what transpired moments ago, as you see Neal began the cleanup.
Yeah, it was a dangerous ball into the box. Started with Liam Miller playing a nice ball wide for Wilmington.
Orlando City will have it on the attacking half here. Be a free kick. And played a little too early for Caleb Mendez's liking, and we'll reset and do it again. Neal, touch somewhat heavy, comes away. Neal will retreat and reset with Ribeiro.
Yeah, Ribeiro's been really solid for us, cleaning up right back there. We've been sloppy in the midfield, and he's been right there to clean it up each time.
Ball over the top, and Perron there step for step with Berry. Smits has it. Yeah, Ribeiro, fine player that Anthony Pulis is certainly excited about. The 25-year-old out of Green Bay, Wisconsin. Spent last season in Charlotte, made 28 appearances. Been in USL for a couple of years now. Pittsburgh in 2014, Harrisburg in 2013. Former New York Red Bulls draft pick. And it will be Wilmington ball here. Nitty will retreat. Parrott. Send it back to the center of the park. And switch to the left side. Come all the way back to Faircloth. Men in purple going to keep the shape. Nitty there with Lawal trying to get some leverage inside. And nearly coming away with the ball. Drops back to center, top of the box. Looking to make the distribution. And it's in the hands of Edwards.
Mike Amber's doing a good job, Eric, of coming over, helping Nitty as Qudis Lawal kind of backs into him. He comes over to help double team that, clean that up very nicely.
Yeah, they needed that. That was dangerous.
Wilmington trying to be the aggressor here. Ball played through, and again, Ambrose cleaning things up from the left side. Now Orlando looking to build. Nice challenge there by Faircloth. And eventually rolls back to Da Silva. Looking for an offside flag. It comes up.
Very late.
A little bit late on that call. Their touch just went straight into the hands of Edwards. We got a little lucky there. It looked like it went right off his shin, straight into the hands of Edwards.
Smits to kick it away. Minute number 25 here at the Titan Soccer Complex, season-long home here of OCB. Harbortown Hooligans providing us the soundtrack this evening, as we expect to do in the next 14 home matches here. And now Orlando City on the run. Played forward. You see the speed of Barry. As he closed quickly, it will go out for a throw.
Fairclough with a great last-minute tackle there, because if not, that was going in.
Yeah, he was almost on it. He was just right there. Now I got a chance to build here with Rivero.
And it's turned over. Wilmington now making the run. Cut back inside. Nice control of the ball. As we showed, the transfer, or excuse me, the loanee from Tampa Bay Rowdies of NESL is going to be a big piece this year, native of West Palm Beach. And matter of fact, played in these parts collegiately for Eastern Florida State College before going to UCF. And it is Barry getting a shot towards the frame, and it's all for naught.
Yeah, it was a great build up the left side by Ambrose there. He played a great ball up top, and he had a chance to cut in and get a shot there, just not quite the hit he wanted.
Always concerning for a goalkeeper when you can see a striker cutting across the top of that box, because it does keep both posts in play. If they can get a ball bent around to the far post, but they also have the near post, so dangerous spots to score from when you see strikers doing that, Eric. You as a striker, I'm sure, have been in those positions a few times.
Exactly. You want that ball across, set it up right across the box like that for you.
Neal still has it. Went in there and took it away. Sends it to that right side. Neal going to be called upon as one of the leaders, veteran of the last 4 MLS seasons.
Yeah, he's got a great history with us, doesn't he, Tom?
Oh, listen, you're talking about the guy that scored the first goal in club history in USL. So, you know, he's kind of right back home as well. But, you know, we talked about being a leader, and that's exactly what he is on the pitch tonight. He's the guy that's going to be looked to by everybody else, calming things down, getting everybody on the same page.
It's the throw from Sosa. Speaking of history, we saw a moment ago a shot of Mark Briggs on the bench. Played for the Hammerheads, and now getting his first year as the head coach in the franchise's 20th season. So big reason to celebrate there in the port city. So the team was founded back in 1996. Were the USL 2 champs in 2003. So they've got history like Orlando City. 09 regular season champs as well, as it's flipped over the bar by Earl Edwards. This will lead to a corner kick.
Yeah, that deep floating ball, you're never quite sure if it... Yeah, it's a deep floating ball here, and Edwards isn't sure whether he's in a dangerous spot or not, so he just goes ahead and touches it over to be safe. Smart play by the keeper.
And we see Logan Miller was lurking. And taking the free kick will be Corboz, Mael Corboz, New Jersey native, with ball to the back post, and it's out of play in behind for a goal kick.
That's dangerous. They've got some real height on those free kicks.
Edwards getting the start between the pipes tonight. See Mark Ridgers and Jake Fendelson later in the season, when Edwards, who is the backup to Joe Bendick right now at the MLS club. Of course, Orlando City off this week for the international break, so it afforded Adrian Heath to send a number of the MLS guys down. Wilmington says, thank you, we appreciate that. Of course, they've got the affiliation with NYCFC, not one NYCFC player on the roster as of yet.
There's advantages and disadvantages to
Sure.
that, Jeff. You know, the advantages, of course, you're getting a player that's possibly played at a very high level and a good player. The disadvantage is you never know who you're going to get or when they're going to come. So, you know, for Wilmington, it might be a squad that has everybody in place more often. There's advantages and disadvantages to both sides of that coin.
Cutis Lawal with a nice little build up there as he combined with Parrott. And now Da Silva will chunk it forward. Trying to run on directly as Barry turns on the jets, but Faircloth intercepts him and closes him down.
Be interesting if they pull this back to be out of bounds. They did. It looked like he almost got there.
Former USF Bull versus a former UCF Knight. There's a rivalry you talk about. Faircloth. They're a player with Dom Dwyer, I believe, at USF.
Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. Everyone needs to compress this space forward. There's too much time. This is playing into the hands of Wilmington here.
So, Tom, what does it appear as far as Wilmington's posture here? You know, the conventional wisdom says you go on the road in this league, you try to get a point and play back. Are they doing that?
No, I mean if you look, I think they're trying to possess, they're trying to pressure in the midfield, and so far they've created chances for themselves in this game. So no, I wouldn't say that Wilmington is sat back trying to play on the break and nick something here or there. No, I wouldn't say that at all, Jeff.
Nice dummy from De Silva. You see the partnership that he's forming with Mikey Ambrose on that left side. Those two thinking alike.
Smart player. It's hard to believe he's only 17. Talk about the future of the club.
De Silva played in the U17 FIFA World Cup. Da Silva, as the name would lead you to believe, of Brazilian and Peruvian descent. Tracking back is Ambrose.
Another smart play by Ambrose. He's having a good half here.
Ribeiro. And played forward into space. Faircloth had it tracked, had an Orlando City player come forward.
You know, we've seen a lot of that ball, Eric, kind of over the top, down channels, but that's because there's so much pressure in the midfield, so you have to have that ball kind of as that outlet. And the more you hit that, sometimes if you're successful with it, it'll force Wilmington to drop off a little bit more, then creating more space in the midfield to play with.
Right.
Wilmington has it in their own half. Along the right side, Rocha being a pest. And Lawal, a little cheeky back heel to keep the run going. Along the left side, it does continue. And it will go out for a throw. Wilmington going from defense to offense quickly. Stuck on that left side. Will test Edwards, and not much of a test as Earl passes out with flying colors. Surveys things in front and distributes left to Craig Nitty. Van Nuys, California. Was with Whitecaps FC2 last year. There's a lot of USL experience on this roster, and that, you know, when you talk with Anthony Pulis, that's something he wanted in addition to the academy players and the MLS players he was going to get. He said it would provide a good mix.
Well, I think that's important, Jeff. You know, this league is a tough league. The place you're going to travel to, sometimes, you know, playing closely together. It's important to know this league.
Barry dancing top of the box goes to Larea. Two #1 picks playing back and forth. And it will be cleared as far as Ribeiro.
And it started with a great ball in behind the Wilmington player, Turner, on the outside, and Barry just couldn't get the ball across in a scoring position where he wanted it.
Fans get into the game through the USL social media channels. Follow the USL on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for news, live game updates, and video highlights from across the league. Ambrose. Neal and Ribeiro eyeing things in front, looking to spring somebody.
I got to tell you, the tweets are coming in. People are watching this one, and
just like the old days.
Yeah, we're being reminded. Matthew's telling me, saying, don't forget, ILF is here. He's there. They're here, and they always will be. Absolutely. We know the ILF always behind Orlando City.
Shirt tug there.
And Kenny Fitcher wants to tell us, hey, don't forget, it's Harbor City hooligans, not Harbor Town.
Did I say Harbor Town? Harbor City.
Harbor City.
Yeah, Melbourne's not a town. It is a city.
Yes, it
My
is.
apologies.
Yes, it is.
Goodness, that is a cardinal sin.
OCB's had some sustained pressure here. They've been holding the ball, and now we have a chance at a free kick.
'34th minute, no score. And there are the Harbor City hooligans. Oh, the ball laid left. Nice idea. Execution lacked Lawal will not catch it.
It's almost identical to the one
Same thing that we did.
It's almost identical to the one that Wilmington had.
Exactly. Same thing.
Same result.
Yeah. The first game, they're working out the jitters.
Well, they don't train on this pitch under normal circumstances, as they did have an extended run a few weeks ago in the cold weather that hit this area. But gentlemen, they're going to train in the Orlando area and then come out here for games. So in your mind, gentlemen, is that something you have to be used to, or is a soccer field a soccer field?
I'm okay with that. We had that at VCU with the girls in Richmond. We didn't practice on the field much, and it became like a mecca, a place where the girls couldn't wait to get out and play on that field. They really wanted to defend that turf when they got out there. They didn't get out there every time.
Ellis Hayden with the throw. It'll be cleared into touch with authority, and it'll be an Orlando City throw. 10 minutes from halftime here. Season opener for both the Wilmington Hammerheads and Orlando City B. See Anthony Pulis making his managerial debut, as is Mark Briggs. Two players have played against one another in the lower divisions in England for many years, so they go way back. Sprayed left side. Ambrose with some space to work. Cuts into the right. Might have been a handball, no call. Nobody arguing. Wilmington will play the ball forward. Look for Lawal, and Zach Ellis Hayden timed the jump perfectly.
Yeah, good positioning by him there. He was there to cut off that play.
Kyle Callan McFadden, excuse me. The other hyphenated player on that back line. Ambrose. De Silva. Danson. Play it square. Ribeiro. So you see Neal barking some instructions forward. Ball nearly got through. Parrott will play it back to Smits. A lot of chatter going on out there. Nitty. Drill it forward to Barry along the line with Faircloth. He'll hold it up. Haji Barry. And again, Nashani Faircloth gets the better of him. Lawal comes away with it. Nitty will track back. Stand-up play by McFadden. Shape resumes for Orlando City, leaving it left. Here's the ball across. It's in behind. It'll be a goal kick.
Yeah, Lawal was really strong against Nitty there, and he held it up. Miller played a nice ball out wide, and that's a dangerous play. OCB really needs to cut that out at the midway line.
Earl Edwards. As OCB, like their big brother, Orlando City, like to play the ball out of the back when possible. Very important to have an identity, right, Tom? I mean, and kind of keep that up through the chain, whether that's the academy or the USL level. Play everything the same at every level.
Well, yeah, it's great to have a way to play. Everybody knows the shape. Everybody knows their roles, their responsibilities. But they also say equally it's important to be able to change when the moment presents itself. You become predictable sometimes if you just stay the same every time.
Oh, Ambrose, that ball in right at the spot. Could not find the head of Haji Berry. Perone and Faircloth have been excellent.
Having said that, Eric, I think, having that way to play is good. And if you can impose yourself, it should always be about the way you play, not the way anybody else plays.
Yeah, make them subject.
Oh, taken down from behind.
That's a bit naughty. That's going to go in the book.
Yellow card has been issued. And
the big Brazilian.
Perone goes down. Haji Berry checking himself. So first yellow of the match comes just before halftime, 7 minutes from that whistle.
Yeah, that's good. That Perone, he's winning everything in the air. This Perone, we need to take it at him on the ground.
Easy for 6'4" Perone, though. I think he could be one of those weather satellites. He could tell you what the weather's coming. He's a big fella.
Veteran of 5 teams in his native Brazil. Also played with QPR for a couple of seasons over in England.
OCB can send Nitty in there. Let those two go at it.
Yeah.
Be a nice matchup to watch.
Oh, Nitty over the ball here. And will it be he or Lewis Neal as they discuss the plan? So your center back perhaps set to take a set piece. He'll leave it for Neal, and it's right at Smith's.
How poetic would it have been if Lewis Neal would have opened the scoring?
Goal for OCB too. I was thinking the same thing.
Our Scotty Harris just showed me a tweet came in. We're being listened to from Scotland. They're watching us from Scotland.
Excellent.
And I know our buddy Chad is watching us from Ohio. We're being watched all over the planet.
Have some haggis on us.
I think the whole stadium wanted that ball to go in for Neal.
Take a look at the free kick.
It was a good setup. He just didn't quite have enough on it. Just wanted a little bit more power.
Neal did score the first goal in club history via a free kick against the Philadelphia Union back in 2011. Standing over is Prieto. Instead, goes to the top of the box. Oh, nasty little zip on it. Fair cloth there. Up the line. Playing that direct ball and leads to a throw-in for the Wilmington Hammerheads. Show will walk in, and Tom Parrott. We just talked about folks in Scotland watching. They're a man who played there in the Scottish Premier League for many years. Scotland U19 national teamer at one point, Parrott.
As well as the backup keeper tonight for Orlando City, Mark Ridgers.
Played for Hearts, Ross County, St. Mirren.
Yes.
Parrott with Caledonian Thistle. Heritage United. Drilled forward by Faircloth. Then he will escort that one. 42nd minute, no score. Two teams really continuing to extend the feeling out stage of this game thanks to that delay. And this opener for both. Neal dropped all the way deep. And Callan McFadden to the right side to Ellis Hayden. Ribeiro forward. Now De Silva giving chase, holding his ground. Lawal, boy, nice behind the back. Carbo's there in the central midfield battling. He and Liam Miller.
Game's gotten a little bit sloppy here. Just when it looked like Orlando was starting to build and take over, now the game's gotten a little bit sloppy again. They really need to finish strong here in the last few minutes. First half.
Again, the restart taken a little too quickly.
Important time in the match, isn't it, really, Eric? I mean, these last few minutes before the half. I mean, goals change games, and a goal at this time can really lift the team.
Exactly. Need to be really careful around here.
Handball. And numbers will press forward. 2 minutes from halftime. We'll see how much stoppage we get from our fourth official, Chris Bolak. Set piece by Carbos to the back post, had danger, danger written all over, and harmlessly will roll into touch. Orlando City will have the throw.
Orlando City had good coverage around that ball. It was whipped in. It was whipped in at a good pace and a good height.
Lions ball. There's the ILF.
Oh, they're
representing the 407.
Always and forever. It's the way it should be, Jeff. I can't imagine it any other way.
Parrott gets the head on it. And back to Edwards. Both goalies keeping the clean sheet. No real big tests for either tonight, you'd have to agree.
I wouldn't say anything really troubling. Both have been called to focus and concentrate a time or two. We had the one tipped over by Earl Edwards, and they've had to be smart.
Yeah, he's had to be in the right position a few times, and that's taken some of the pressure off him because his positioning has been very well.
Rocha, nice job to keep the ball after the initial run by Larea. Neal. De Silva calling for it is Ambrose. Chests it down, cross is away inside the 18. Larea will turn and shoot. Is going to be a corner kick as it went off of a Wilmington player. So nice build-up for OCB.
You mentioned earlier, Eric, Mikey Ambrose for Orlando City, the left back. I think he's so far having a really good match, and again showing it there as Pierre De Silva drops in the middle and he takes up that space very nicely on the left side.
Yeah, he got in behind, served a nice ball across. That was a really good. It might have been our best chance of the match.
Played 45. So we're in stoppage time. All headed out. It's bad you just can't use the retroactive water, the rain delay as our stoppage time. Count that. Neal. We'll give it up, and there is the whistle for halftime. So a 40-minute rain delay, one of the highlights of this one, no score, as we've reached the half between OCB and the Wilmington Hammerheads. We'll come back and talk about it right after this on YouTube.
Cocoa Beach, the authentic beach town, where the sand is our building blocks and a board is our preferred mode of transportation. A place where memories are awakened by the sound of a wave. It's the home of the original, home to the iconic, and home of the legendary. Cocoa Beach. It's still cool. Your beach vacation begins at gococobeach.com.
Be a part of a new movement in Orlando. A roster to be proud of. One of the best soccer players of our era. Don't miss Alex Morgan and the Orlando Pride as they take the field at the Orlando Citrus Bowl for the first time on April 23rd versus Carly Lloyd in the Houston Dash. Season tickets and single game tickets for the inaugural NWSL season are available at orlando-pride.com. Our captain is back. There was no better timing. Kaká will make his 2016 debut on April 3rd when the Lions take on the reigning MLS Cup champions at the Orlando Citrus Bowl. Orlando City versus Portland Timbers. Tickets available at orlandocitysc.com.
It's about your club. It's about your city. It's about this season. It's about every match. And standing by your colors. Whatever they are, we've got you covered.
Halftime at the Titan Soccer Complex on the campus of Eastern Florida State College in Melbourne, Florida. 0-0 between OCB and the Wilmington Hammerheads in this USL 2016 opener for both teams. I'm Jeff Radcliffe, joined in the booth by Tom Traxler and Eric Lieben. Your impressions overall, gentlemen, first time of that first half. No scoring, but I think some good things you can point for each side.
Yeah, I think each team is trying to play in the front foot. Certainly, we see Wilmington coming forward, you see a lot of numbers getting forward, especially in the wide areas and up top, trying to pressure high against Orlando City B. And then on the other side, I think you're looking at Pierre De Silva having a good match, Haji Berry showing good pace, and for me, so far impressively has been Mikey Ambrose.
the left back. I don't think he's put a foot wrong tonight.
Yeah, Ambrose has done really well. De Silva's done well, but I think that Coach Poulos is going to be disappointed at halftime. I think he's going to really get on these guys, and then they're going to come out a lot stronger in the second half.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights from that first half, as Wilmington certainly had some nice attacks. Lawal had some moments, and see here as he pulled the ball down. This was a crazy play with a big high kick.
He's dangerous. He has a lot of speed. He fights for the ball. Look at him flying through the air like that. And this was a tough call here. And here, we missed the end where Ambrose had a nice play to get us out of this. Here he is again, fighting, leaning back, holding off the defender.
Against
right, just looking to leave it. Right, just looking for Liam Miller. And here he comes into the play. A nice little flick through. And we're lucky this went right off his shin, right into Edwards' hands. If he would have had a better touch on that, they could have been dangerous.
On the other side for Orlando
City.
City.
There's the keeper. There was a mistake. We could have closed down a little bit better, pounced on that.
Orlando City quickly in transition.
Barry just missed getting on the end of that one.
And Larea, there's those two draft picks getting starts. Yeah. He is taken down from behind. That led to a yellow.
Yeah, that's what they didn't need to go with the big Brazilian. Go at his feet, take him on the ground. And look what happened. It led to a free kick. It's a good chance. And I think this was our best chance from open play. Came back, turned around, and shot. Defender just got a touch on it out of bounds. But overall, about even on each side in terms of real chances. But I think Orlando's OCB has really controlled the play a little bit better in midfield, and they need to get their foot on the ball and make sure they do that.
We're at the half in Melbourne. We will talk a little bit more, give you some stats as well. As soon as we get those, let's talk a little bit about some maybe adjustments. Eric, you mentioned that Coach Poulos may be having some things to say. What are some of those things that maybe you would like to see, of course, if you were coaching this team?
Yeah, I'd like to see him compress the space forward. Everyone needs to be about 10, 15 yards further up. It's allowing their forwards to put pressure on us, trying to build the ball out of the back, and we need to pressure them forward, and we need to take that space and use the flanks better. They're crowding the middle of the field, and there's a lot of space on the outsides. And you see what's happened on this side with Ambrose and De Silva, and we need to do the same thing on the opposite side and open up that space because the switch is on every time.
Yeah, I think I agree. I'd like to see us, if for Orlando City B, for OCB, I'd like to see them compress a little more. Get Pierre De Silva a bit higher and also be able to use Tony Rocha a little bit more. So I think if they can use the wide midfielders, get him dropping him into space, it's going to be good.
We'll talk more about the second half when we come back. We're at the half, 0-0, OCB in Wilmington.
A nation of thousands. A nation founded on the belief that expectations are not to be met, but defied. A nation of winners. This is Lion Nation. Indulge in exclusive content, behind-the-scenes interviews, and monthly documentaries. In Lion Nation, you get access to things money can't buy, including once-in-a-lifetime on-field experiences. Help make crucial club decisions by casting your vote. Spend reward points on experiences, auctions, and more. And all profits from Lion Nation will be invested back into the product on the pitch. Don't miss your chance to be part of something bigger. Join Lion Nation. Coming soon.
Cocoa Beach, the authentic beach town, where the sand is our building blocks and a board is our preferred mode of transportation. A place where memories are awakened by the sound of a wave. It's the home of the original, home to the iconic, and home of the legendary. Cocoa Beach. It's still cool. Your beach vacation begins at gococobeach.com.
Be a part of a new movement in Orlando. A roster to be proud of. One of the best soccer players of our era. Don't miss Alex Morgan and the Orlando Pride as they take the field at the Orlando Citrus Bowl for the first time on April 23rd versus Carly Lloyd and the Houston Dash. Season tickets and single game tickets for the inaugural NWSL season are available at orlando-pride.com.
Back in Brevard County, Florida, OCB and Wilmington 0-0 at the half in the season opener of the United Soccer League season. And we'd like to remind you fans that Orlando City's next game, the MLS side, they're returning to the Florida Citrus Bowl for their next home game on Saturday. Make that Sunday, April 3rd, facing off against the 2015 MLS Cup champion Portland Timbers. Single game tickets are still available at orlandocitysc.com. And that's a highly anticipated game. If you remember, last season, Orlando City went on the road in one of the toughest environments in MLS and got a 2-0 victory. That was Kyle Aaron's first goal, first of 17. Now, OCB's next home game is coming up Friday, April 1st, right back here at Eastern Florida State College. That will be against the Charleston Battery, a team that Orlando City knows very, very well. Your fans know well, and the Orlando City MLS Club played the Battery last year in U.S. Open Cup play. So another familiar opponent back-to-back weeks here in the opening couple of weeks of the USL season. Tickets are available at orlandocitybee.com. Coming up in this half, is we'd also like to remind you that in this particular league, in USL, it's not the standard FIFA 3 subs and done. You have because there is a developmental aspect of this league, Tom. There are 5 available, so that really opens a lot of doors of opportunity to get guys in to change complexions of games. So who could you see maybe coming off the bench?
Well, one player that I'd be interested to see make his entrance in this game, if possible, I'm not sure if he's on the subs bench. I think he is Brian Roches. If Brian Roches is on the subs bench, I mean,
a DP,
and talk about the future. and this young man can score goals. We saw him do it last year at a high level in some big games that were big friendly games for Orlando City. Did a good job. Harrison Heath, young player who could come into the midfield, spark plug. And a real firecracker. Johnny Mendoza, player who has been with Orlando City in USL in years past. Dangerous player and a local player. So you have those 3 coming off the bench, and I'd like to think there'd be more attacking subs unless Orlando City can get on the board early.
Of the subs on that bench, there are 7 of them. Mark Ridgers is the goalkeeper. You have 1 defender, Tyler Turner. You have Johnny Mendoza and Marius Obakop, the midfielders, and 3 forwards able to come off in Keegan Smith, William Yang, and Brian Roches, as we mentioned. We'll come back with second half action. It is OCB and the Wilmington Hammerheads from Melbourne.
Cocoa Beach, the authentic beach town, where the sand is our building blocks and a board is our preferred mode of transportation. A place where memories are awakened by the sound of a wave. It's the home of the original, home to the iconic, and home of the legendary. Cocoa Beach. It's still cool. Your beach vacation begins at gococobeach.com.
Our captain is back. There was no better timing. Kaká will make his 2016 debut on April 3rd when the Lions take on the reigning MLS Cup champions at the Orlando Citrus Bowl. Orlando City versus Portland Timbers. Tickets available at orlandocitysc.com. Be a part of a new movement in Orlando. A roster to be proud of. One of the best soccer players of our era. Don't miss Alex Morgan and the Orlando Pride as they take the field at the Orlando Citrus Bowl for the first time on April 23rd versus Carly Lloyd and the Houston Dash. Season tickets and single game tickets for the inaugural NWSL season are available at orlando-pride.com.
It's about your club. It's about your city. It's about this season. It's about every match. And standing by your colors. Whatever they are, we've got you covered.
Set for second half action here in Melbourne on the campus of Eastern Florida State College as Richie Larrea in Orlando City and Wilmington Hammerheads with Qudis Lawal 0-0 as we get set to see adjustments. Orlando City will attack left to right here in this second half. I'm Jeff Radcliffe, joined by Tom Traxler and the original Orlando Lion, Eric Lieben. So as we look at the stat sheet, we talked about how it's an even game. It is a very even game, no matter which way you slice it.
Yeah, shots were 4-4, fouls 5-5. OCB had one more corner kick, but you know those 5 fouls, I would bet Bruno Perrone committed 4 of them.
Yeah, they've actually run at him. I think you brought up a good point, Eric, that you'd probably want to try and isolate him with someone and get more attacks run in his direction on the floor.
There's Lawal, who has been slippery.
Yeah, has been. That was a dangerous ball right there too. He played it early. A nice block. That was nitty.
Eric, you and I talked about just off the air about Qudis Lawal. If we were coaching Wilmington, we'd probably want to see him on the ball a lot more. He's strong. He's a good target player, and he brings everyone else into play well.
Yeah, he's been real dangerous. And when they play the ball into him, you know, you look for the Liam Miller running off of him, and then he sprays the ball out wide. It's been real dangerous for OCB.
So former Maryland Terrapin, Mael Carboz, with a right-footed corner kick. We'll get another crack at it to send it in on frame. A ball flipped to the back post and in, and Wilmington has struck first. And it is Ashani Faircloth who will get credit for the goal, and it's 1-0 Wilmington.
Yeah, the corner was played in, the ball went back out wide. Another ball played in, and Faircloth there with the header to the far post.
Take another look how it transpired. So a second ball is what gets you.
Well, looky what we have here. We just talked about the ball getting served in, but great diving header by Fairclough to redirect that in at the far post. And that's the area where you can redirect it because he's at or beyond that near post. And he did a good job. This is game on. I mean, if goals change games, so I'd like to see how this is going to change this one.
Yeah, that was a real nice finish.
So the Lions of OCB now chasing a 1-0 game as Wilmington has struck in the 47th. Credit that goal in the 46th as Parrott will have possession with the throw. We'll see if it changes and see if it opens things up for Orlando City B. So it wasn't the initial corner. Sometimes you get everybody moving one way and then a little redirect header. And Wilmington on the move again. Trying to play it to the left side. And Prieto service in, and certainly that goal has brought the energy out in the Hammerheads. Into the corner it goes. It will stay with Wilmington. Michaud will collect. Zach Ellis-Hayden over his head, out of trouble momentarily. Headed back in by Faircloth. I think that's Sosa. Sosa has it. Faraday Sosa, the Congolese American. And that one is going to be out for a throw for Orlando City. The goal again.
Yep. Ball comes back out after the corner kick. It was a nice header. You see, Edwards didn't have much of a chance at that at all. Just a nice flick header from the near post to the back post.
The reaction from Ellis Hayden said it all. Come on. Around the edge, trying to split the defense. And now Orlando City B with some space to work. Da Silva out left. Ambrose. They've had some nice attacks from this left side. Overlap is there. Barry along that far touchline, throws it back in.
Yeah, we're talking a lot. They've had a lot of possession that breaks down when they get in the final third, and it's important for OCB that they maintain that possession and create more chances. For all their possession in the first half, they didn't have as much chances I think Coach Poulos would have liked.
Poor touch along the right. And finally, Cutis Lawal unable to do anything with the ball. Saw his frustration. There's Nitty. Lions down a goal. De Silva had it stolen. Crafty veteran Parrott stepped in and took it. Nitty off his head. Ellis Hayden into Ribeiro. Neal. Direct forward. Now over the top as they're looking for Barry. Faircloth can't clear. Barry trots into the 18, will give it a go, and earns a corner kick for Orlando City, and that probably stung as you see the reaction.
It was a nice cutback. You had
Logan Miller.
Two players making runs. But, you know, a striker's instinct is to go to goal, and that's what he did.
Stings the legs of Miller. So, the City taking its time. OCB.
Now they have a restart. They can gather themselves and work one of their set plays here and try to get a good chance on the goal.
See if they can answer. Ribeiro, 2 hands in the air. Taking all the time as you see Liam Miller in the foreground, making sure everybody's in place. Here's Parrott.
Well, I think they were looking to see if they were going to make a sub.
See,
there's a substitution ready at midfield, and
So
I think the referee's got it held for that reason.
First of 5, a sign. They're trying to get the sign ready there
I
at the
gotta tell
scorer's
you,
table.
if it's not ready, you don't allow it.
You don't often see a lot of subs on a defensive corner.
No, it's not the time that you really want to make a sub, is it?
No, not normally.
Justin Moose will check in for Prieto. So the Moose is loose. First sub of 5. Oh, how about that move from De Silva? Crack it with the left foot. Smits has it, keeps it in.
That's good. After seeing the keeper drop the ball in the first half, I think it'd be a good idea to test him. Send some balls up in the air.
And if you're Haji Berry or Tony Rocha, get around him.
Sure. Put a little pressure on him. He dropped the ball in the first half.
Flicked forward. Nitty went high in the air. Ellis Hayden finds the ball to his right foot and plays the ball back. McFadden quickly forward. A wrestling match going on between Barry.
The handball there.
Barry and Sosa. Faraday Sosa, last couple of years of the Atlanta Silverbacks, who no longer exist, had to find a home. Mark Briggs brought him aboard. A free kick for Orlando City.
Despite the rain, the lightning delay, and the bad weather, it's still a raucous crowd behind that goal over there with the Harbor City hooligans.
Yes, their support is unwavering, and these supporters, the Harbor City hooligans, you know, ILF is there. They don't stop. They don't stop singing. They don't stop playing for the entire match. They provide a beautiful soundtrack to a game.
Fans, keep up to date with the USL all season long by visiting the new USLsoccer.com for everything you need to know about the USL. Much different site than when we left originally, Tom. It is very interactive, very heavy on the images and videos.
Look, I always said, even when we knew we were leaving, I was always looking forward to watching, and I've been watching, and this league has done nothing but go from strength to strength, and it's I mean, you look at how many teams are in now, the quality of players, the quality of venues, It's a fantastic league. I couldn't, if you were a young player in this country, you couldn't ask for a better platform to launch yourself.
Certainly the standards, which were already high, continue to raise.
Miller
and on the media side, too.
All his skills to get out of that situation. Now
run
they get
as
a
they play
dangerous ball on the outside.
A great ball through. A little bit too much pace, but Wilmington able to catch back up. As Michaud. And a nice eye of things. It will be carried away and throw for Orlando City. B. Neal.
You mentioned, Jeff, I mean, you look at the additions of like Louisville City, who have done very well. You know, the Cincinnati now coming in. You and I
John
talked about
Harkes,
that with John Harkes and what an organization that looks to be. And you know, Bethlehem Steel now in, and of course now
Swope Park Rangers a new one this year,
and Orlando City B. So coupled with the great franchises that have always been in this league, you know, the Rochester
Rhinos, the defending champs.
Yeah, the Rochester Rhinos, Charleston Battery, Wilmington Hammerheads, Richmond Kickers, Eric, absolutely.
Ribeiro. Neal will play it straight forward, looking for Barry, able to break free.
Oh.
Right side, Zach Ellis Hayden cuts in on his left foot, sends the ball in. It was Perrone. Dangerous ball. Appealing for a handball. Punched in the air by Smits. Won by Orlando City. Taken down in the box. Shot on frame. And in the net. Goal! OCB! Andrew Ribeiro making us flip dizzy, and it's level at 1.
Great goal by Ribeiro there. He just stayed with the play. Came out inside. He got the shot back in. Fantastic goal. He's been right on line all night long. He's been in the right place at the right time, and there he was.
Well, as you look at the replay coming in, so Smith's at the near post. He's going to try and punch it up, but it's not going to get clear. Let's watch Lewis Neal coming in. Excuse me. No, let's talk about Ribeiro coming in to break it up. And then a low, hard shot. And we talked about it, Eric, on this surface being wet, you have to focus. And then look at this.
Sticks the landing.
I don't think anybody in the circus could have done that better.
It's fantastic. That's exactly what this league is all about. It's the excitement, it's the youth, it's grassroots, it's getting back to, you know, to the real feeling of soccer here before it was so big. You know, it's just a wonderful feeling. Look at the drums and the fans and the smoke. I mean, it's just incredible. Great finish by Ribeiro. He's been in the right place all night long.
56th minute, and we're level. As a native of Green Bay, Wisconsin, the 25-year-old central midfielder earned the goal in multiple aspects.
And we have a good game going on here now, gentlemen.
Well, Tom, as you and Coach Heath always say, the goals change games. It opened it up somewhat, the first one.
OCB needs to be real careful here. They just got the goal. The other teams are going to come out and give them everything they got right now. They need to withstand this next 5 minutes of pressure, get the ball back on the ground, and do what they do well, which is building out of the back, getting the ball through the midfield, spread this field out, use the width to get the ball out to De Silva and play it into their strikers.
Good point, Eric, because you're really always very susceptible to being scored upon immediately after scoring.
Right after.
You kind of drop concentration just a little bit, maybe a little bit euphoric after you score, and you're not focused as you should be.
Yeah, if you look at the statistics, the 5 minutes after a goal, how many more goals were scored just after that? You'd be real surprised. It's a big number.
Certainly maybe a mental lapse sometimes when you feel a little like you're taking control of a game. OCB has answered. Ellis Hayden. Lewis Neal. Weird seeing him drop so deep from his earlier USL days. He was one of the best attacking players in the league. Bringing Barry forward, too far out in front. And Smits will distribute out right to Sosa. Or Faircloth, excuse me.
It's good to see Tony Rocha getting on the end of that. I said we talked about you'd like to hear his name called a bit more, see him get on the ball more this half, Eric.
Yeah, he had a quiet first half. We expected a little bit more. Here's a
Barry
good opportunity.
in the
Inside
box,
the
leaving
box.
it for Larea. Goes top shelf and puts it just over the bar. What a look.
What a run Richie Larea is going to make, Eric, here as it gets wide.
Yeah, this is a great build-up by Orlando City. Great ball right between the two players there. Oh, just a little bit. If that touches a little bit further down in the far post, he rolls it in the goal, but just put it over. Great build-up, though. Encouraging signs from Orlando City.
I like how Richie Larea made his first run in and took the defender inside, and then he came back out, and it was a lovely ball into it.
And got the feed for his fellow first-round pick. So those are two MLS players here in the future for the big club. Getting this maturation time that, quite frankly, was not available for the MLS team last year. OCB provides that. And Ribeiro, the USL player, had the goal earlier.
A rare giveaway there by him.
Ooh, dangerous ball, and Earl out to rescue.
I really liked Earl's distribution. He's been right on point all night long. He gets the ball, he moves forward with speed, and he finds the open man right away. The staff's really high on him, and I can see why.
Ribeiro holds it back. Former Creighton Blue Jay. Played for the legendary Elmar Bolovic. Most people know for his exploits at the University of North Carolina. This league, guys, is just loaded with some, not just former college stars, but ability at all levels. As Neal now taken down from behind. This could bring out a booking, and it is. The card is yellow on Corbeau's. Central midfielder took down Rocha.
Not the smartest play from him because he had two defenders right there in front of him.
It's a dangerous ball, a dangerous challenge.
Almost
poor to give up a yellow there.
Sometimes as a defender, once you've made up your mind to go, you
Especially
go.
if you're the one who's lost the ball.
Exactly. He felt he had to win it back.
So into the book.
I'm sure that Coach Mark Briggs, as he was going in, was going, no!
Former Terp goes into the book. Ribeiro out left. Ambrose and De Silva. That partnership De Silva runs on. Try it again. The cross from De Silva. And Sosa got his head on it.
It's a dangerous ball there. Just missed.
Ribeiro, the pressure being put on. Lawal taken down. And going to the front pocket again is Caleb Mendez. And Kyle Callan McFadden, the first yellow card of the night for OCB.
Well, we just talked about that, Eric, and that was a decision by Kyle Callan McFadden. He had decided to go in, and he went in. He went in strong, and he went in hard.
Let him know he was there, didn't he?
Yeah, let him know. Yes, that's one way to put it. Let him know he was there.
Third yellow card of the match. This thing ratcheting up some. Another substitution is just checked in. And it will be Michael Meacham in for Ashani Faircloth. So that's interesting.
It's very interesting.
Ladies and gentlemen, substitution for the Wilmington Hammerheads in the 63rd minute. Leaving the game is number 47, Ashani Faircloth. He's replaced by number 4, Michael Meacham.
So far, Coach Anthony Pula is holding on to his substitutions, not wanting to make any changes. I think maybe he feels things are starting to turn and go quite well. Don't want to change the chemistry, Eric.
Yeah. Surprised the goal scorer came off.
Yeah.
Maybe he has an injury or.
It was center back for center back. Meacham out of UNC Wilmington, so he's a local boy.
I mean, defensive substitutions, I mean, are always interesting because you don't like to change your back four much.
Meacham out of Blacksburg, Virginia, but a 4-year starter under head coach Aiden Haney. All Colonial Athletic Association performer. Always good to get the guys that have spent time in that marketplace to draw out the fans as Parrott.
Yeah,
the Nat Borchers style beard.
Yeah, another hard foul there. I think OCB, we don't want to be drawn into a hard game like this. We need to keep the ball on the floor and do what makes us good, which is moving the ball at pace. Using the flanks, use the width, get the ball out wide to De Silva, and get balls into the box to our target players.
1-1 the score in the 6th minute. All pinged for directly. Orlando City will have the throw. Ellis Hayden, All-Horizon League player at Cleveland State. Looking for Barry. Our point stats just came in. And still things pretty even across the board.
Yeah, I think this game's as even as it gets so far. It's been that way all night long. Statistically, even in the possession area, the battles of 50-50s.
Orlando has pulled ahead in shots. 8-5 now. Now in our 66th minute, 1-1, highly entertaining game. That has the feeling that there'll be more goals.
Yeah, that was another case there where they, their high pressure forced us into a mistake there inside our own half.
Sosa beats the tackle of Ellis Hayden. Into the box he goes, sends it to the back post and overcooked it a bit. De Silva just pings it forward. Another ball. It's dangerous. It's in the net. What a goal. And Wilmington has regained the lead off of the foot of Michael Meacham, who just subbed in moments ago.
It's a fantastic strike by Meacham. Just coming off the bench to score a goal like that. That's the thing that dreams are made of.
Yeah, he looked up and he really caught hold of it. And it came down and caught that skip. And we talked about the turf and how quick it was going to, once it hits, how quick it's going to rise up.
But, it was their high pressure that caused that goal. They had an extra attacker came up. They pressured us in the back. They won the ball inside their half. They got the ball down the left flank. Ball came across. Nothing came from that, but it was a broken play. Came out and Meacham volleys it back in the goal.
Wilmington with 2 goals from the center halves tonight. And they have gotten the lead here in the last half hour. Question is, can they hold it?
Well, if you're Coach Mark Briggs, you say, I designed it like that.
Yes.
I changed.
Have my center half shoot from 30 out.
I knew that was going to happen.
So a change for OCB as Yang is in there. Yang coming on for Haji Berry, whose night is done. So first of 5 subs for Coach Pulis. Escorted all the way back to Earl Edwards. Yang out of Cameroon. Was playing in Sweden this time last year. Big 6'2", 172-pound forward. OCB has an abundance of those on the roster.
And we'll talk about this a lot. That's what this team is for OCB. It's to give these players a platform to grow from. I mean, that's as much as they want to win, and they'll tell you they want to win championships, and they do. Coach Anthony Pulis knows his job is to develop players.
Neal skips it along. Ellis Hayden. Yang. The run to the near side. Good hold-up play there for the Cameroonian. Out to the left. Might have been the ball that will go out for a throw. Ambrose seems to be in on everything on that left side, he and De Silva. And those guys want another goal into the net in front of them.
That was a good play by Yang. He came in, provided the spark, and that's what they need right now. Back in De Silva. Boy, how about this move along the byline?
gets cut down. Oh, it's a corner kick.
It looked like initially they signaled for a corner kick, and then did he change it?
Or is it I know he signaled over here for the substitution. No, I think it's going to be a corner kick.
Yeah.
Now they're bringing their trainer on.
So Brian Roches coming on as well. So now we'll see perhaps a change in formation. And the player down is Lawal, cramping up apparently.
Well, let's wait and see. Not surprised to see Brian Roches included in at this point. You know, a goal down in the 70th minute.
I don't think they'll play this until Lawal is back up. And we'll wait on the corner kick. Take this time to remind you that in the coming weeks, Orlando City Soccer Club will be launching Lion Nation, a program designed to let you get even closer to the club, watch exclusive interviews and behind-the-scenes content, vote on club decisions, get rewarded for your loyalty, and have access to discounts and other benefits. To learn more, visit lionnation.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, substitution for the Wilmington
Substitutions coming fast and furious now.
You know, both goals have come from broken plays. OCB hasn't been broken down within the play. They haven't had a ball play in behind them. Both goals have come from broken plays, which is encouraging, but at the same time, they need to tighten that up in the back as well. Now they have a chance here at a free kick to run one of their set plays and try to get the ball on the goal.
Set piece in swinger to the back post. And Yang looking for it, saying it went off of Wilmington, not to be. As Roches, the designated player out of Honduras, makes his case all for naught. And just before the set piece, it was Matthew Barnes-Homer who checked in, 30-year-old Dudley, England native. Has played for 20-plus clubs in England over the years. Product of Wolves Youth Academy, former English U23 player. And the number 9 got a touch there, and numbers will move forward for Wilmington. Boy, he's a big strapping fella still.
Let's pay attention to how this changes shape for Orlando City B, having Roches and Yang on at the same time, two strikers.
Sosa, high ball, a little push off. Edwards will smother and push everybody forward. Under 20 minutes to go, and OCB trails this one. Roches has been inserted, so is Yang up at the top of the formation. So ball forward, sent in by Liam Miller. We'll circle back. Wilmington getting a good bit of possession. Ellis Hayden read it well. And now here is Yang as Roches to his left as everybody backs up. Yang cuts in and will send it to the byline. Not sure if that was a shot or a through ball, but either way it was not the best of efforts.
Well, I think it was a shot, and I think he'd probably want that one again. It looks like Yang is moving more to the wide area on the right, Eric, but not really dropping in defensively.
He was excited, but that was 2 on 5.
And with this 1-goal lead, Smits will take all the time afforded to him. .50 ball. Ellis Hayden is there. Getting it back. It'll be Roches, not in time. Roches a year ago, once he got into the fray towards the latter part of the season, proved to be dangerous. Scored in a couple of games in a row towards the end in that big run where Orlando City had 5 wins on the trot.
Jeff,
late in the season to get into playoff contention, he was a big factor.
Yeah, Jeff, he's definitely a goal scorer. His career so far here has been, kind of stops and starts with some injuries. But
as you'd expect at his age.
Yeah, he's young, and again,
21.
So having a chance to play tonight with OCB is great. He's going to get valuable minutes will Brian Roches. And again, he's a dangerous striker.
Under a national teamer.
Look at where everybody is on the field right now.
All on the far side
Everybody's
of the field.
on that far half of the field.
Just cut it in half. All by himself, Sosa on this near side. Defended, comes back to Edwards. If he wants to distribute to the right, he's got nobody until right now. We'll play it long. Rocha can't get there. Neither can Neal. Ribeiro trots back. Justin Moose. Liam Miller. Justin Moose, one of those returning players. Offside.
Orlando City are going to have to get more in this midfield. They're going to have to. They can't let Wilmington at this point set up and dictate possession, being a goal down, Eric.
Yeah, it's playing right into Wilmington's hands at the moment.
Nice hold-up play. Right side it goes, misplayed by Ellis Hayden. Throw to the Hammers. Quarter hour to go here in the harbor city of Melbourne. Sosa throws forward, headed into the air there by Michaud. Quick throw Orlando City. Ribeiro being harassed and harangued. Now Neal and cut down from behind, Kwadwo Poku style. And gets the decision there as Barnes Homer ran him over. De Silva and Ambrose. That's a push from the behind. Quick restart is allowed. And De Silva dancing through three defenders, gets the line. Will cut it back, top of the box. It rolls out. Just went to the spot. Lions dangerous build up there, courtesy of the young 17-year-old.
That was a fantastic individual effort by De Silva. He single-handedly beat three players and laid it right back across the box. OCB really should have had a shot on goal there.
Cut down that time, corner kick.
That boys, have a look. I'll tell you what.
There's one.
Look at him go.
Two.
I got to tell you.
And he plays it right back here.
He's got the wings of heaven on his shoes. He's a dancing man, and he just can't lose.
Set piece opportunity. Ribeiro will put it in play. Time starting to wind short here in this inaugural game. The flag. Here's the service. High arcing ball to the back post, way to the back. Kept in by De Silva. He's got a nasty first step. Neal keeps the play going. That's heavy. McFadden.
Yeah, the space is still on the outside, you see.
Ellis Hayden. And Yang will be there for the throw. And Placard is up on the far side. Another substitution for Orlando City B. Back two. So Rocha will come off. And Johnny Mendoza makes his debut. So Marius Obakop coming on as well. So let's see how this changes the shape, as we do know that Johnny Mendoza, the Lyman High School and Stetson University standout who played for the first iteration of Orlando City, likes to play on that right side. Was with Rochester and won a championship a year ago. And into the crowd. Look out below.
I used to have to coach against Johnny Mendoza when he was at Lyman, and I can tell you he has a knack for popping up in a dangerous spot. He's one of those players that just, and I think it's just a given ability. It's not taught. He just knows how to be where it's dangerous.
He's 3 or 4 inches taller. Maybe at a different spot. All into the box. Roches is down. Willis Hayden. Intercepted, but into touch. Orlando City has a little over 10 minutes to do something about it here. A 1-goal deficit, thanks to the Meacham goal. Getting some of the ball here. I've earned another corner kick. Ambrose and De Silva have done the job on the left side. You start talking about takeaways from this one if the scoreline holds.
They've had a lot of these corner kicks over here, and they keep playing the ball to the back post. I don't know if they're trying to isolate De Silva one-on-one back there or what. We did look at those corner flags. Look like they had a turf field corner flag on the side there. I don't know if that has anything to do with what's happening with these corner kicks, but here's a good chance.
Well, whipped in. Nitty was in on frame. And Smits came together. Ball rolls all the way back to midfield. Lewis Neal wearing that captain's armband. Nitty ahead of that line. Wilmington holding the shape, packing it in. Trying to hold on to this goal lead. Diagonal ball to the outside. Yang tries to beat the defender, goes to the left. Here's a ball towards that back post. Nicely done by Meacham to clear out to the right. And
another corner.
Another corner. They keep adding up here in our final 10 minutes of regulation.
Wilmington certainly digging in defensively. I mean, you feel like they have a good energy. I mean, they're defending strongly and resolutely. But it seems like Orlando City able to now starting to set up camp in that end. The more attackers they push onto the pitch.
Yeah, there's another goal in this.
Which way will it go, Eric?
There's Robrero's service. Another high arcer to the back post again. And Mendoza able to catch up to it, but sends it out.
So you say there's another goal in this one. I agree. You just wonder which way is it going to go. The Orlando City pushing and getting a lot of pressure, but will it come on a counterattack?
I hope it's not
the
on
other
the
way?
counter. I hope it's not on the counter.
Yeah, deep throw. Sosa will take his time. And we're going to wait yet another sub. A reminder, you have 5 subs per side allowed.
Liam Miller coming off for Zev Toblib.
Toblib, the New York native, who was with Sacramento Republic a year ago.
Talking about Sacramento Republic, another great success story in USL. Fantastic franchise.
Won the championship 2 seasons ago. Here's the throw. And Orlando City will have it. Here, Caleb Mendes say, knock it off.
I think he did. Knocked it right off his hand.
On the far side, losing it. Right in front of the OCB bench. As it stands, if the scoreline holds, it'll be a winning debut for Mark Briggs. Trying to get the culture back to winning there in the Port City. Mendoza. Sprightly Johnny Mendoza with that pace. Plays it forward. Flag goes up. And there is Anthony Pulis, 31 years old, born Bristol, but of Welsh descent. Everybody knows the bloodline. We hear that Tony Pulis, the West Brom head coach, his father is in the house tonight with with the break the EPL is taking right now. We talked with Anthony, Tom, multiple occasions over the last year and about making a name for himself and not necessarily coaching like Adrian Heath or like his father, and kind of developing his own style and taking the best of both, really.
But yeah, let me tell you what, two fantastic, great mentors. I mean, could you ask for really two better mentors to start your managerial career than to have played under Adrian Heath and have him day to day beside you, and then the pedigree and to be able to pick up the phone at any time, talk to a man and a coach the caliber of Tony Pulis. No, I mean, two great mentors for him.
OCB season tickets are still available. Start at $180. Single game tickets also on sale for $15 per game. Go to OrlandoCityB.com for details. Of course, the next one coming up against Charleston. That game Friday night, 7:30. Right back here at the Titan Soccer Complex. The question is, will Orlando City have a loss on the ledger, or perhaps a tie, or even a win? Oh, step over. Carbose, and that shot off the mark. Taublieb. Nice dance on the ball there.
Yeah, OCB needs to really pick up the pressure here in this last 5 minutes and create a couple good chances on the goal. It's really important to not only start the season off right, but defend your home field in the first match.
I feel as that right now, I don't think either team deserves to take full points out of this game. I think a draw would be fair.
Orlando City with that on the attacking half. This ball off the left foot of Lewis Neal. All into the back post. Had danger written on it. And try to pepper it back in. Ribeiro. What a good service from Ambrose. So if we'll reload. And that left foot comes into the box, cleared away. A big win by Nitti against Barnes-Homer. Ellis Hayden, all in, held up. Roches, not happy with himself. Throw Orlando City in the 87th minute. Orlando City B. Ribeiro. Lions trying to ask the right questions here of this packed-in defense. Here's the turn for Roches. Oh, taken down outside of the box. And Sosa, the guilty party.
Well, if we watch that again, Jeff, you're going to see as he pushes the ball, he's going to push the ball to go by, and then the leg's going to come out. So there it is. See that leg come out. He tries not to catch him, but he does. He just gets a hold of Johnny Mendoza. And this sets up a free kick in a very dangerous situation.
So we'll test Smits if the ball has quality. We see Roches standing there. Obacop as well. He will go back in.
The hardest thing about this is Jeff, is going to be getting it up and down because you're really close. So if you're going on frame and you're going to have to put some whip and some dip on this.
And some nay-nay as well?
Some nay-nay, some whip, anything you got to put it on. It's got to get up and down very, very quickly.
Roches and Neal. It's Roches. It's over the wall and over the top of the bar.
Yeah, that's the thing. It rose, but he wasn't able to get it coming back down the other way. And sometimes that's the hard part from that position. And you'll see as he looks at it, he's just able to get up, but he couldn't get it. He comes down a bit late. The whip you've got to get on that is so hard. Your upswing has got to be so hard to create that immediate, as it gets up, that immediate, the way it comes back down on the other end.
Right into the air. Orlando City needs to get forward. Barnes Homer now will go marauding into that attacking area. Toblieb will come to. It'll be a throw for Orlando City B. Time winding short, a minute to go.
Sure, we'll have a little bit of stoppage time.
Well, speaking of holy smoke bombs, we have flares at either end of the field now. Oh my goodness.
I think they're trying to bring him home going, hey, here.
Are they going to be directing traffic with those afterwards? We'll see.
You want the ball down here.
Half a minute in regulation. We'll see how much stoppage. Have had a couple of goals. Make that 3 here in the second half. The Lions need to get forward. Oh, Roches can't keep it. Make that Yang, excuse me.
A long ball, maybe tried to touch it back to find Zach Ellis Hayden, but not able to keep that ball in. And Wilmington will be in no hurry, I'm sure, to take this throw in.
Oh, Mendoza steps in front.
Good tackle.
3 minutes of stoppage time will come. And cleared in the meantime by the Hammerheads. A couple of crunching tackles in that exchange.
Look, they've taken on a lot of pressure these last few minutes, but they've not wavered, Wilmington Hammerheads. Looks like there's something going on the far sideline.
Something brewing, and the assistant referee is involved. Ambrose in. See Rob Valentino being pushed back, the assistant coach for OCB. So Lewis Neal certainly not happy with something.
Well, and you also have Mark Briggs making gestures to the other side. Something happened over there.
And cooler heads will prevail for the moment.
Not sure what, but that fourth official certainly was earning his paycheck. And he's
Chris
showing
Bolak.
That's his pocket. He's asking somebody, that right there, when you see that, someone's getting a card.
So yellow's been shown.
So he's giving it to Lewis Neal.
So Neal picks up a yellow. We are in stoppage time. At least a minute and a half has went off that clock. Let's see if we added a little bit more with that exchange. And Wilmington is a few moments away from getting out of here with 3 points to start the season.
Boy, Jeff, the rivalry is definitely alive and well.
As you would expect. Romero, the goal scorer, out left side now. Ambrose with the ball in. Just haven't found the final ball as Hayden will give chase. Perhaps a chance here. Cross into the area, headed back out. Throw Orlando City B. Gotta hurry.
Orlando City B will be throwing everything in the goal now.
Ball to the back post. Header and right into the hands of Smits. And he'll hold on for dear life.
Well, he's certainly going to cover it. He's going to make sure that the player in front of him gets up and is okay. They're going to be in no hurry, though.
Kyle Callan McFadden had the header. Not much time left. Long ball over the top. Smits off his line to cover before Yang gets there.
Just getting away, well read, and that's going to be it.
And the double blast to the whistle, make that the triple blast from Caleb Mendez signals the end to this one. The Hammerheads go on the road and capture all 3 points in the season opener. They defeat Orlando City B 2-1 on the strength of 2 goals from the center halves. We'll be back to talk about it right after this on YouTube.
Cocoa Beach, the authentic beach town, where the sand is our building blocks and a board is our preferred mode of transportation. A place where memories are awakened by the sound of a wave. It's the home of the original, home to the iconic, and home of the legendary Cocoa Beach. It's still cool. Your beach vacation begins at gococobeach.com.
Be a part of a new movement in Orlando. A roster to be proud of. One of the best soccer players of our era. Don't miss Alex Morgan and the Orlando Pride as they take the field at the Orlando Citrus Bowl for the first time on April 23rd versus Carly Lloyd and the Houston Dash. Season tickets and single game tickets for the inaugural NWSL season are available at orlando-pride.com. Our captain is back. There was no better timing. Kaká will make his 2016 debut on April 3rd when the Lions take on the reigning MLS Cup champions at the Orlando Citrus Bowl. Orlando City versus Portland Timbers. Tickets available at orlandocitysc.com.
It's about your club. It's about your city. It's about this season. It's about every match. And standing by your colors. Whatever they are, we've got you covered.
We are back at the Titan Soccer Complex. 2-1 to the visitors as the Wilmington Hammerheads get the win in the season opener against OCB, and a historic night here on the Space Coast as soccer, the professional ranks, comes to the Space Coast. And now with the head coach of Orlando City B, Anthony Pulis, here's Eric Lieben.
Coach Pulis, tough opening night.
Yeah.
It looked like your shape was off a little bit. There's a lot of space on the sides. What are your thoughts?
No, we're obviously disappointed. We don't want to. You never want to start a season losing. I thought there were a lot of positive aspects. I thought we got the ball in really good areas at times, and then decision making wasn't great. I think we were a little bit naive at times. But look, like I said to the guys before the game, this is one game. I've been in football a long time. I know you get too high when things go well. You never get too low when things don't go well. So we'll regroup. We'll get the guys back in, and we'll work towards next week, Friday's game against Charleston.
Great, thank you, Coach.
Yep, no problem.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Eric, as well. And we'll send it back to Eric with an interview with one of OCB's players.
Great game tonight. It looked like you were in the right place at the right time a lot of times.
Yeah, it was good. It's the first game of 30. There are going to be ups, downs. Obviously, a loss is a down, but we played well. There are a lot of things to work on. First game, again, coming off our preseason, so we're really excited for the rest of the season.
Describe the goal if you can.
It's always fun when you're sitting at the top of the 18 for the ball to come back at you. It feels like a moment. Everything slows down. But the ball came off, and I just thought put it on the goal. Somewhere close, hard, power with the wet, and sure enough, it went.
Great job tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you, Eric, with Andrew Ribeiro, the goal scorer. And Tom, let's take a look at some of the highlights of this one. The three goals in particular, they all came in the second half, and right after the halftime, it was Ashani Fairclough. The second ball in is always a danger one.
He does a fantastic job. He does a fantastic job, as you see right there. He's able to get across. And he's able to jump right there. So a good job by Fairclough there. And then, have a look. This is the one Andrew Ribeiro just talked about. He rode a great tackle there, got inside the box, and you hit it low and hard to the far post, Jeff, and good things happen. And that's what happened right there. Good low hard ball. And again, right here, just took a great opportunity, really. And sometimes you talk about if you don't shoot, you don't score. He got himself into a good shooting opportunity. He took the chance. It caught a good bounce off the wet turf and into the back of the net.
Michael Meacham, the game winner. Wilmington will leave with all 3 points. OCB will look to rebound. I will remind everybody, when Orlando City began in 2011, they lost their first game against Richmond and bounced back with a vengeance. We hope to see the same next week. For everybody, Tom Traxler, Eric Lieben, Brian Foster, John Bober, our entire WEFS TV crew, I'm Jeff Radcliffe saying so long as the Hammerheads get the 2-1 win in Melbourne. Good night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent from the United Soccer League.